Smart couples think of building wealth as a team rather than mine and yours. Also, it's not about merging everything together. It's still having individual finances. But here are 5 things that you need to start thinking as a couple when you're building your wealth. First is thinking of tax allowances as a team. People think of tax allowances as being very individual. If you're not familiar with the personal tax allowances, here on the screen is the tax allowances. But when you start thinking of tax allowances as a couple, just some examples. Say one is a higher rate taxpayer and one is a basic taxpayer or non-worker and non-taxpayer. While it makes a lot of sense to top up the pension allowances of the higher rate taxpayers because you get a higher tax relief, but pension actually makes the best sense when you're working, you get your tax relief at a higher allowance, and when you withdraw your pension, when you retire, you withdraw at a lower tax band. But if you're very pension heavy, you still will be a higher rate taxpayer even at retirement. So it doesn't make a lot of financial sense. So if you have surplus money, it may be worthwhile topping up the pension allowance of the non-working spouse. Many people are not even aware of this. Even if you're not employed, you can get a 20% tax relief for a small amount of money. You can contribute up to £3,600 and the government contributes 20% tax relief towards that. So it may make sense to use both the pension allowances than to be pension heavy with one person. Another example could be if you own a rental property and the income levels are still very different, you don't have to split the property 50-50. When you're signing the contracts, you can put 90-10, 80-20 or whatever amount you want to be more tax efficient and use all your personal allowances. So it's thinking of tax allowances as a team rather than individually. Next is thinking of savings as a team. This is to maximize the personal savings allowances, and if you're not familiar, these are the personal savings allowance. So instead of focusing all the savings on the person who earns the most, it's worthwhile to put most of the savings in the person who's got most of their personal savings allowances than for people who lose their personal allowances. I just helped my friend set this up. He was an additional rate taxpayer, so he does not get any personal allowances. So he put all his savings into his spouse's name, who's not working and holding down the family at present, but so she's got a larger personal allowance. So they put all their savings into the person who's got the larger personal allowance. Another example could be if you're using your lifetime ISA to save towards retirement, use both the lifetime ISA allowances because the tax relief that you get, 25%, is on 2 different pots than just one pot. But it's maximizing all the tax allowances and thinking of savings as a couple. The next is thinking of bank accounts as a couple rather than individually. So a lot of us are familiar with having joint bank accounts, but you can do certain things to maximize the perks that you get from your joint bank accounts. Say, for example, if you have a Santander Edge account, that is very good as a joint bank account if you're paying household bills from it because you get some cash back towards it. But it comes with individual savings account that is linked to this bank account. So even though it's a joint bank account, you can open 2 individual savings account that gives you 6% interest, so it's boosting your savings interest. Another possible example is nationwide. Even if you have a joint bank account and have 2 individual savings accounts with it and meet some thresholds with it, I'll put a link in the description if you want to read all the details about these bank account perks. But with the nationwide fair share of payments, if you have 2 individual savings account, you can get £100 each per year for not a lot, for very minimal effort. So these are certain things that you can do within your bank account and thinking as a team rather than individually. Next is boosting your credit card perks while thinking as a couple. A lot of these credit card that comes with perks, it's only for the individual person who owns a bank account and it's only the first time they apply. And usually classed as a new customer only for 2 years. So me and my husband sort of do this with the Amex. So for the first 2 years, I get the Amex and I cancel it after 2 years. And the next 2 years, my husband is an Amex customer. And then each of us are an additional card holder, but the individual is a main card holder. So this way we get more perks because each time you apply as a new customer, you get the perk. So twice in 4 years, we get perks. Whereas if you thought only as an individual, you'll get the perk one time you apply and then you don't get any perks at all if you have the card for a long time. And while applying for these credit cards seems like a big admin burden, but it's only admin every 2 years. So it's not like something constant that you do every year or every month. It's every other year. There is about half an hour of admin tasks that you have to do, cancel one card and reapply for a new card. So it's half an hour of admin time every other year and you get a lot of cashback perks because of this. And it's needless to say, for any of these things to work, it only works if you're in a loving, honest relationship with your partner and you trust each other with your money. If you'd like to know more about opening a SIP for your non-working spouse, watch this video next where I guide my friend through this. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.